In the game of love, dating, and relationships, the sound of ultimate success is often considered communication. Well, here's the thing. Real connection goes beyond words. Sometimes what she doesn't say speaks volumes louder than anything she could articulate. That's where the mind reading trick comes in, not actual telepathy, but the ability to pick up on subtle cues and intuitively understand her feelings. It's not magic, it's emotional intelligence in real-time action. And trust me, she wishes you knew how to do this because it makes her feel seen, heard, and valued. Now let's get real for a second. Why does this matter so much? There is always an undercurrent of unspoken thoughts and emotions in any relationship. Maybe she's stressed about work but doesn't want to burden you. Or she might be confused about the direction of the relationship but is scared to bring it up for fear it will cause a fight. Either way, unspoken fears can drive a wedge into a relationship if not discussed. The key behind the mind reading trick isn't in guessing correctly every single time, but rather tuning into her energy, noticing patterns, and empathetic responding. When done well, you make space for her to open up naturally. Here's a key takeaway. This skill rests on the backbone that is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence refers to the ability to feel, understand, and deal effectively with one's emotions and those of others. For example, if she looks distracted during dinner or a bit too quiet than usual, you might say with a gentle nudge, "You seem off tonight. You okay?" Which means that you pay close attention and give enough of a damn to ask. The dynamics of a relationship skyrocket when both partners feel emotionally in tune with each other, and it all starts with one word: perceptive. Building trust is created by showing up in ways consistently that make her feel secure. Intuitive understanding is about that gut feeling of what she needs before she says it, and it all circles back to one central idea: reading between the lines. So, how does this mind reading trick look in practice? Let's consider one of the most common scenarios: picking up on nonverbal cues. For instance, she may say that she is fine, but her arms are tightly crossed across her chest and her voice seems strained. To her, "I'm fine" is a defense, a shield against vulnerability. Rather than take her at face value, you could say, "You don't seem fine. Want to talk about it?" It is a validating statement that gives her permission, but does not make her do anything. Another example is noticing changes in her behavior. If she suddenly stops texting as much or seems disengaged, that's worth exploring to find out if something is bothering her. Another insight worth noting is the power of timing, knowing when certain topics should be addressed or when to give her space. For instance, when she has had a bad day, bombarding her with questions may be overwhelming. Comfort first, such as saying, "I'm here if you need me," then wait for her to open up deeper conversations. This way, one shows patience and respect for her emotional boundaries. Positive timing also plays a role in moments of positivity. Celebrating small victories like acing a presentation or finishing a tough project shows that you notice and appreciate her efforts. One area where this trick really shines is in navigating conflicts. Most arguments that happen when one is dating or in a relationship usually arise from misunderstandings or unmet expectations. The mind reading trick helps you foresee these issues before they escalate. For instance, if she looks sad when you call to cancel at the last minute, rather than get defensive, acknowledge her feelings. "I know I let you down, and I'm sorry. Can we reschedule soon?" This immediately dissipates any tension and helps strengthen trust. When you put empathy ahead of ego in a conflict resolution, the process often becomes far easier. Now, about empathy and how it can deepen intimacy. Empathy is not about feeling sorry for someone. Rather, it's about putting yourself in their shoes and trying to see the world from their perspective. When you listen to her empathetically, you are not just hearing the words, you are absorbing the emotions behind them. This will create such a deep connection because she will feel understood on a deeper level. To further refine this skill, work on mirroring her sentiments. For example, if she's frustrated about something, you respond with, "That sounds really tough. I'd feel frustrated too. This simple act of validation strengthens your bond. One of the practical ways to enhance your abilities as a mind reader is by observing patterns over time. People have different ways of expressing their feelings, and paying attention to these subtleties helps you anticipate her needs. Does she withdraw when she's overwhelmed? Does she light up when talking about specific hobbies or dreams? By tracking these behaviors, you are able to tailor your responses to fit her personality. For example, if she loves to plan future trips, surprising her with ideas for a weekend getaway shows that you're tuned into what excites her. One might wonder at this point how to balance intuition with direct communication. While reading between the lines is priceless, it is equally important to encourage open dialogue. She may not always realize that you're picking up on her cues, or worse, assume you're misinterpreting them. Use gentle prompts, such as, "I noticed you seemed quiet earlier. Happen to see something?" to invite clarity without assumption. Set a combination of intuitive understanding and honest conversation so neither of you feels left in the dark. Let me summarize it for you in conclusion. Dating and relationships work wonders when the two people in it feel connected on an emotional level, and the mind reading trick does much to further that along. As you build in emotional intelligence, learn to recognize nonverbal cues, and practice empathetic listening, you form a bedrock of trust and mutual respect. You will further solidify this by recognizing patterns, respecting timing, and balancing intuition with communication. With this knowledge, you are in a better position to face challenges and grow a strong partnership. Key takeaways will be the recognition of emotional intelligence, understanding nonverbal communication, and building trust through empathetic listening. Intuitive understanding and conflict resolution are also major elements in bridging gaps in dating and relationships. You can only build a connection that feels like an effortless fit with these tools. And finally, nobody's perfect. Relationships are messy and beautiful and constantly changing. It's your desire to grow with her, to change with her, that matters. Bring a curious and kind attitude to every interaction, and don't be afraid to ask for feedback. After all, the mind reading trick isn't about perfection, it's about showing up fully and authentically. That's the secret to love that lasts.